fucking boss.
Mr. Boss.
Mr. Boss. Alright, yeah, let's do it. See
Let's
what's
do it.
happening in Shion land.
Probably more entertaining what's happening in Diaz land. Welcome back, y'all. My name is AJ. I'm here to help you out with Higurashi When They Cry Kai, Chapter 5. MEAKASHI. I am once again joined by my straight man Griffin. Say hello, Griffin.
I just realized that Sean and Shion are very close. I don't know what to do with this information.
Last time, Sean Diaz's identity was exposed, and Daniel and Graham and Claire made Sean remove his pinky and ring and middle finger nails. And then, they learned that, Lila has gone missing despite all of our efforts. Someone who has not watched Life is Strange 2 is probably going like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I'm not... Don't worry, you
I don't like the association of MEAKASHI and Life is Strange 2, honestly.
Well, that's what's been happening. This is... Alright, this is a channel where Sora, Kingdom Hearts, Sonic the Hedgehog, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sean Diaz, and Keiichi Maibara make an Avengers level team.
Why they got two Sonic characters?
Because... Okay, fine. Shadow the Hedgehog.
Sonic's not invited.
Fucking Slenderman jump scare.
I know! Why is Kasai like Slenderman?
Weeks since the murder. Satoshi-kun still hasn't been found. I had no new information on his whereabouts. Kasai's report came, and as a result, immediately came out of the blue.
それって警察が逮捕したって意味？
聞いた話では逮捕というより別件で取り調べを受けていた男が余罪として自供したんだとか。
It sounded strange. Like the tribals chanting in the background of my house. I should really turn off that CD player. Though Satoshi-kun wasn't the culprit.
葛西。結局犯人って誰だったの？
So it wasn't Satoshi-kun? I swallowed those final words. I was convinced that was Satoshi-kun. The police and Oyashiro must have thought the same way. The reason Oyashiro approached me is because he was convinced that Satoshi-kun did it.
ご安心を。サトシ君ではないようですよ。連続開始事件を模倣した異常者の犯行というような話みたいです。
はい？異常者？何それ？
Kasai shrugged.
さあ、私もそれ以上は。何しろ今回の事件は秘匿捜査指定というものがかかっているんだそうです。なのでほとんど情報が出回らないんです。
秘匿捜査？何それ？
連続開始事件による村への風評被害対策ということらしいです。誘拐事件なんかでも犯人との交渉が行われている間は新聞に載らなかったりするでしょ。ああいう類のものらしいです。
Come to think of it, I hadn't seen anything about the aunt's murder on TV or in a newspaper.
何しろ4年連続で綿流しの日に事件が起こっているわけですからね。
You thought what would be
親
bigger
代
news?
様のたたりだと騒いで面白がる輩も多いそうですし。そうそう。何でもそのおば殺しの異常者ですが、連続開始事件を模倣したくて行ったと自供したんだとか。
Kasai didn't know anything else, so instead of probing him further, I reviewed the information myself. I really was shocked to learn all this. I was convinced that Satoshi-kun killed her. I thought this was the reason he had to disappear. But it was actually some lunatic who killed her. He had no relation to the aunt whatsoever. So Satoshi-kun had nothing to do with the murder? If so, why did he disappear? I couldn't accept this lunatic had killed the aunt. It's really strange as the phrase Kasai used 4 years in a row now. After all, I've been thinking this murder happened because Satoshi-kun had been in a dire situation. Nothing to do with the serious, mysterious deaths. As though Satoshi's case has become somebody else's. Serious, mysterious death in Imazawa is also known as the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Higuchi-kun's case must become one of those mysterious deaths. In other words, Satoshi-kun's case had become part of yes, you just... Why do you write... So the curse has swallowed Satoshi-kun.
What?
Nothing. Ryokishi writing. Same thing.
Oh,
3 times in a row.
例の東京行きの新幹線に乗ったらしいという情報も確認が取れないままです。
Do you
正
check the
直
train
な
to
ところ、
Busan?
県の中にいるのか外にいるのか、それすらも分かっちゃいません。
Oyashiro broke the news to see on a can of
あ
instant
れだけ
coffee.
胸を張ってサトシ君が犯人だと息巻いていたから、もう行方を掴んでるとばかり思ってました。
いやいや、
Oh.
情けない限りです。
Oyashiro chuckled and poured a cup of coffee which looked far too hot.
しかし、耳が早いな。
I am a member of
Coffee,
Yakuza.
the coffee
資格
Hiroshi.
操作してだってのに。
Shut the fuck
ど
up.
この誰が
We are not
回して
Oishi
んだら
thirst posting
やれやれ
today.
うちの傍聴も
Damn.
問題があるな。
Oishi smirked. Seemingly knew why I was here today.
まあ腐ってもその崎の端くれですので、多少の噂は耳にできますということで。
I smirked back at him. All about bluffing.
まあいいか。腹を割り合った仲ですしね。いいですよ。おしゃべりしましょう。
まず聞かせてください。真犯人って一体何者です？異常者とか聞きましたけど、それってどういうことですか？
どういうことって言われたってね。そりゃ私だって言いたいですよ。私はサトシ君が犯人の一点読みでしたからね。とんだ万馬券が飛び出したもんです。
Oishi threw himself into the sofa and crossed his hands behind his head, looked at the ceiling and smiled wryly.
先日ですね、県警の方から急に連絡が来たんですよ。すでに逮捕して取り調べをしている男が主婦殺しを自供したって。
それは何者？
薬に手を出したとんでもない野郎でしてね。出所しては捕まるの繰り返しだそうです。ひなみ沢村連続開始事件が面白そうだったんで、4年目のたたりは自分が下してみたくなった。とかなんとか。
間違いなくそいつが犯人？
私が直接話を聞いたわけじゃないんですがね。先方が取った供述調書には、いわゆる犯人しか知り得ない情報ってやつががっつりと含まれていたんですよ。凶器を王子川のどこかで捨てたって言ってましてね。今はドブさらいの最中ですよ。これで供述通りに凶器が発見されれば完璧でしょうな。
たとえ凶器が見つからなくても、おおむね確定。
確定でしょうな。現場の状況
We're just having a conversation game. No need to play the dramatic music.
襲った本人にしかわからないような細かいあたりまでね。
納得はいってないみたいですね。
They're about to do a grand reveal.
Oshi's looking at the ceiling, went quiet.
実はね、
Are we actually? Or are you fucking with
そ
me?
の大バカだれ、
Yeah,
とっくに
Oishi
亡
about
く
to
なって
take
る
off
ん
his
です。
mask.
うちに連絡があった時にはすでに
Like he's got a rubber mask he's been having
昼
on
食
this
と
whole
かに
time.
出てくるでし
Oh,
ょ。
who's under the mask?
先割れスプーン。
You don't wanna know.
日常の食事にもあれが出てくるんですよ。そいつを飲み込んで窒息したんだとか、
Is it Big Joe?
自殺なのか錯乱なのか、ちょっと区別がつかないですがね。
Imagine someone swallowing their spoon and gagged.
だから十分に納得するまで調べられたわけじゃありません。私は納得できないんですがね。
So actually, I would be
上
so
の方
hyped.
は十分に納得しちゃったようでした。どうもその
Higurashi played, where Oyashi's played by Bill fucking Murray.
I would love that.
Oishi turned his eyes from the ceiling to me. He looked serious.
これは個人的な意見ですよ。他の誰にも内緒ということで。
If it's
私はこの大バカたりは何かの間違いだと思ってます。何かの偶然による壮大な勘違いか、もしくは ね
全然意味わかんないですよ、大石のおじさま。
私は今でも犯人は北条聡君だと思っています。
きっぱり言い切りますね。
残念ながら現場検証では犯人を特定できるような痕跡は何一つ発見できませんでした。聡君が失踪した後、家宅捜索の許可が下りましてね、家を改めさせてももらいましたが、それでも手がかりはゼロ。
それでもサトシ君が犯人だと疑ってる。
ねえ、
証拠もないのにどうやったらそこまで人を殺人犯呼ばわりできるのやら、大したもんです。長年の勘ってやつですか？
ええ、この道で何十年も飯を食ってきた男の直感です。
Oishi smiled in satisfaction, but I didn't feel relieved.
サトシ君はどこへ？
サトシ君が失踪した理由の一つこそが彼が犯人であるからだと固く信じていたんです。サトシ君が犯人でないならそのあたりがかなり薄れちゃいますからね。
叔母殺しの犯人はその愉快犯で、サトシ君の失踪とは無関係。サトシ君失踪は私とサトシ君の仲を裂くために園崎本家がやったもの。叔母殺しとは無関係という考え方は？
Was Satoshi-kun a culprit or a victim? The reason for his disappearance to become unclear.
私は旧敵との恋仲程度で人一人を
You
失
don't
踪
know
さ
my
せるなんて
family.
リスクを冒すとは思わないんですがね。実
Ha.
際園崎家の内部としてはどうなんです？シオンさんはそのあたり何かご存知？
知っていたらこんなとこに来ません。
ごもっともごもっとも。
Oishi laughed out loud while scratching his head. After he stopped laughing, he leaned over.
よーし。なら一つどうですかね。協定を結びませんか。紳士協定。
協定？何のです？
サトシ君失踪事件捜査情報共有協定。裏の界隈でサトシ君の失踪に関する情報を得られたら私にも教えてください。もちろん私もサトシ君についての情報が入ったらあなたに提供します。いかがです？
Scratch your back, scratch mine, quid pro quo.
なんだか一方的な虫のいい話に思えますけど。
Oishi chuckled.
シオンさん、このまま行くと主婦殺しの犯人はすでに死んでるその大バカタレってことで確定すると思います。そうなるとサトシ君の扱いは単なる家出人になります。つまり積極的な捜査は打ち切られるということです。ですが私だけは続けます。私だけはサトシ君の行方を引き続き探します。シオンさんも私もサトシ君の行方を探しているという点では一致してると思うんですがね。
目的が全然違いますがね。私は単に無事を確認したいだけですが、大石のおじさまにとっては逮捕が目的でしょうから。
主婦殺しが決着すればサトシ君は無実ってことになりますよ。真実はどうかは別にしてもね。
怪しいもんです。
Oishi chuckled again, but his smile didn't reach his eyes.
まあ今後も仲良くやりましょう。敵の敵は味方とも言いますしね。
別に
You
私、
know,
園崎本家と敵対しているわ
much
け
as
じ
I
ゃ
don't
ありま
like
せ
you,
んよ。
Oishi, I still take
No,
you over the Sonozakis.
ならそりゃ失礼。
This is the way of Kurodo Oishi, huh? As Sis and Kasai said, I wouldn't want him as my enemy or my ally because both would be too risky. Probably shouldn't let my guard down in front of this big fat weasel. I sipped on the coffee to fill up the silence, but I wasn't thirsty. Outside the window, I could see a normal life taking its course. But Satoshi-kun wasn't there. He should have been there, but he wasn't. I was scared that I might grow used to his absence someday. Where was he?
サトシ君はどうしてるんだろう。
無事だと いいんですがね。
チェ、生きてる可能性は薄いとか思っているくせに気休め言わないでほしいです。
サトシ君の失踪、ひなみ沢じゃ何て言われてるか知ってます？
え？
鬼隠しにあったなんて言われてるんだとか。
Onikakushi means the same thing as being spirited away. It's part of the local dialect.
鬼が淵沼の底の鬼の国にさらわれたって？バカバカしい。
とにもかくにも連続開始事件もこれで4年目です。気の早い話ですがね、来年もまた起こるんじゃないかなんてもうささやかれてるんだとか。
おば殺しがお社様のたたりのせいだって言うんですか？
全体的に見てみれば仏も北条家の一人、ダム戦争の戦犯と縁がないわけじゃないですからね。しかもまたしても綿流しの日にとなれば面白がる連中が現れるのも無理もないことです。
バカバカしい。何がお社様のたたりだ。
As I said, I quite wiped away the fear from my mind. Why did Satoshi-kun disappear? Was this the Sonozaki family? Did he run away from the police? Did he really kill his aunt in the first place? Why did he even disappear? He's on his own. Oyashiro-sama's curse has nothing to do with it. But... That's strange. Satoshi-kun Oyashiro-sama's curse. Somebody once mentioned those two together before. Where did I hear that? Thanks, Shion. Ah, that's right. That rainy day. It was Rena Ryugu who told me that. When we were taking shelter in that shack. I remember the creepy story that she told me at the time.
サトシ君は心のどこかでひなみ沢を捨ててどこかへ逃げ出したいと思ってるから。
So Rena Ryugu said. Rena had definitely pointed out that Satoshi-kun wanted to leave Hinamizawa at that time. She also said,
サトシ君が体験していることはすべてお社様のたたりの前触れなの。
she said that for sure. She had definitely mentioned Oyashiro-sama's curse. There is a mysterious death that struck 4 times. Was Satoshi-kun being controlled by the curse? Is that why he killed his aunt and was Onikakushi? No way, Jose. That can't be true. Satoshi-kun's smile faded away in my mind. Satoshi-kun disappeared. Not only that, the reason for his disappearance also had disappeared. But it's been done by human beings. I can't accept that he was demoned away. Moved from one chair to another because the air conditioning was too cold. Moved with my notebook, my pen case with a bunch of keychains, and my cup of milk tea. I did it all in one go. Sat down in a new chair, then opened my notebook again, and scrolled my thoughts and sank into silence. A series of mysterious deaths. Dubbed the Curse of Oyashiro-sama. I've been viewing each incident as a separate case, even though it was followed by one another, and I look at all the cases as being part of one big scheme. I wrote down all the incidents on paper. It became clear to me that all of them served the same agenda. I wrote down the victims. First year, the construction site manager. Second year, Satoshi-kun's parents. The third year, the priest. Fourth year, Satoshi-kun's aunt. For the fourth year, one could consider Satoshi-kun himself to be a victim rather than his aunt, because that each case arose from the grudge over the dam conflict. It's quite simple. In the first year, the construction manager was killed because he was a symbol of the dam construction itself. Of course, the real enemy was the Ministry Construction, but it wasn't as clear as the target. That manager, on the other hand, had been aggressively shouting back at the villagers, so he was a more appropriate enemy to attack. If Oyashiro-sama really cursed someone, it would be the officials from the Ministry. It's apparent that the target was selected based on the villagers' preference. The second year, an accidental death of Satoshi-kun's parents. It's said that they fell from a cliff in some park, but it's doubtful that it was really an accident. His parents were labeled as traitors to the village because they started with the dam construction, even though they're also from Hinamizawa. The Hojo family was ostracized during the dam conflict in order to prevent their further pro-dam activists from rising up. That means the Hojos were necessary during the conflict to play the role of the traitor. So when the conflict was over, they no longer served any purpose. The construction site manager was a symbol of the external enemy. The Hojos was a symbol of the internal enemy. The people who fell victim to the curse seemed to grudge over the dam conflict had ended. Yet those incidents were followed by one another. The third year, the leader of one of the three families, the priest Furere, suddenly died of illness with an unknown cause. His wife drowned herself on the same night. She seemed to have left a note that said she was sacrificing to pacify Oyashiro-sama's anger. Whether it was a fatal disease or suicide, their death looked sussy. Mion admitted that the Sonozaki family didn't like the priest's attitude. They didn't like how the priest had been generous towards the pro-dam activists. The priest wasn't quite a traitor, but he certainly was uncooperative. Looking at these incidents, I realized the curse was performed based on the degree of hostility. Enemy, traitor, and dissident. This means the curse was actually payment. There was punishment for a criminal of war, and for the fourth year. I didn't understand this case at first, to be honest. I first believed that this case was separated from the other ones, even though it occurred on the same day. I never thought there would be any relation to the other three. But when I wrote it down and looked at it objectively, the victim is a relative of a traitor. And after enemy, traitor, and dissident, a relative of a traitor doesn't sound too odd. It comes naturally as a fourth target. On the day the villagers worship Oyashiro-sama, their guardian deity, the criminals of the dam conflict has been punished by the curse. Just how I was forced to pay at Sonozaki's house, the criminals were made to pay as well. So writing these things out, I started thinking that the fourth incident might be in line with a serious mysterious deaths after all. Whether it was Satoshi-kun or the dopehead, it seemed that they were forced to play the role of murderer as a part of a bigger scenario. Even if Satoshi-kun was the real culprit, even if he killed us all because of an ordinary grudge, the murder seems synchronized with the grand scheme of the series, the mysterious death in Himazawa, which is a payment plan for the war criminals. That murder was the result of his pain. But what if somebody planned that as a part of a scenario? For instance, somebody might have suggested to kill his aunt on that day, the night and at that place. And no doubt that Satoshi-kun decided to kill her in order to protect Satoko. But did he really reach that conclusion on his own? Satoshi-kun was optimistic and somewhat detached as far as I know. Would he really have considered murdering his aunt even if it was to protect his sister? Could it be possible somebody had chosen the aunt as fourth year Smarga beforehand? And they used Satoshi-kun. And Satoshi-kun was eliminated because of his connection with them. Looking at that way, the murder of the first year resembles this case. The main culprit behind that case hasn't been found yet. Dead or alive. The other culprits testified that the fight turned into a slaughter. But it was possible that the main culprit was manipulated by the situation? Were we being told to kill someone that day, at that time, that place? I'm certain. The first murder resembles Satoshi-kun's case very much. So, did that mean Satoshi-kun was being controlled by somebody else? Ooishi have presented me with the hypothesis the Sonozaki family made Satoshi-kun disappear in order to end my relationship with a murderer. But when I read the notes I wrote down, his disappearance didn't seem spontaneous. It seemed like a part of a bigger plan. Since I unexpectedly got involved in that plan, I had to be separated from him. And Satoshi-kun was demoned away as planned. First, I also believe the Sonozaki family made him disappear because they didn't like I was in love with a member of the traitors. Something didn't add up. Something felt strange. It wasn't the reason for his disappearance at all. Even if I never met him in the first place. Satoshi-kun was supposed to kill his aunt on June 1982 and then disappear. At one point I was thinking of taking revenge on the hag. I believe that she separated us. But what if my relationship with Satoshi-kun had nothing to do with his disappearance? What would that mean? Who made Satoshi-kun disappear? You need to understand the series of mysterious deaths in order to solve this mystery. What do all these deaths mean? Who was behind them, and what purpose do they serve? I wanted to know the purpose, the motive. Who was responsible? Who took Satoshi-kun? I wanna know if he's still alive. Mysterious destiny Mizawa. It's also called Oyashiro-sama's curse. What is that curse? Specifically, what kind of god is Oyashiro-sama? What blessings does he bring and what punishment does he dole out? I wrote down my thoughts in a notebook. What is he? I scribbled these down. I was so absorbed by it. I didn't realize somebody had been standing behind me watching me. The whole time. I couldn't stop myself from gasping when I realized that. Hi, Takano!
驚かせちゃったかしら。
What are you doing here? Intelligent looking woman giggled.
いえ、びっくりしただけです。こちらこそ場違いな大声を出してすみませんでした。
Griffin. Oh, he's been muted this entire time. Uh-oh, spaghetti.
No, I heard you.
Oh, okay. Hi, Takano.
Yeah, Takano's good.
To be fair, we were just literally recapping information, but I just stared.
Yeah.
She just stared
I
at
was
my face and
putting
said,
the chicken on in the air fryer.
シオンさん、私の名前を知ってて、私が初対面ということは、お姉の知り合いか何かですか？
Being twins is a pain sometimes. People you never met before can tell exactly who you are.
ごめんなさいね。私の知っている園崎さんは図書館なんかに来るような人じゃないから、噂に聞いた双子のシオンさんかなと思って。
Woman giggled again.
お察しの通り、私は園崎シオンです。どうもはじめまして。こんにちは。失礼ですがどちら様ですか？あら、ごめんなさいね。自己紹介がまだだったわね。
She didn't love her own hair because she kept running her fingers through it boastfully.
高野美代。美代って呼んでくれていいわよ。シオンちゃん。お気遣いありがとうございます。高野さん。
Her condescending attitude bugged me. I hate meeting people like that. I closed my notebook and got ready to leave the desk.
あら、怒ってる？ご検察、痛み入ります。私は一人で考え事をするのが好きなんで、よそへ行かせていただきます。失礼します。ごきげんよう。残念ね。私たち話が合うと思ったのに。
Whoa. Who are you? What are you? Takano is such a confusing thing in all this.
What?
Just her presence.
She is a very weird lady.
そうですか？
She's Japanese,
私は会うとは
but
思いかねますが。
she's the closest we have to a white woman.
お社様のたたりについて研究する
Well, she
同志
listens
に
to
出会
crime
えたんで
podcasts.
すもの。貴重な出会いだと思うんだ
She
け
listens
ど。
to true crime podcasts.
She does listen to true crime podcasts.
She saw my notes.
TikTok channel where she just
これは私のそう妄想みたいなもの。デタラメで
oh
す。
she's doing her makeup.
It's a
子供の
concept.
落書きなんか
My
ほっと
mother
いてく
uses
ださい。
those to fall asleep.
Oh my
お
god.
社様のたたりと
Yeah,
呼ばれ
imagine being in a
る
hotel room when she's
一
using
連
it
の
to
連
fall
続
asleep
開
and
始
you
事
don't
件。いず
tune it
れ
out.
の事件も個別に見えながら、確実に一つの意思に基づいて行われている。毎年一人がお社様のたたりにあって死に、一人が生贄に捧げられて失踪する。
Okay, I know all this, but what does it mean?
何を急に言い出すんですか？一人がたたりで死んで、一人が何ですって？
It's taken aback by her weird spiel. I guess
I mean-
way she's an explainer.
I mean,
南沢村連続開始事件の
I guess
犠牲者が
for the mechanic of storytelling, she exists in the story to give you the cultural and historical context for Hinamizawa.
I know, but I feel like this. She's connected. She has a bigger role than that. Just don't know.
I mean, she gets killed.
Does she?
Like every.
Who
I mean,
knows if that's actually her
no,
body?
yeah.
I don't trust that. We saw her at one
Yeah.
point. You know? You're trying to throw me off a trail.
Yeah. Sorry, I was drinking.
You're trying to throw me off her trail. Thanks.
Yes, she was up and walking around whenever apparently she was supposed to be dead. Yeah, that is something. What does that mean?
I don't know. I've been asking this since episode 2 ended.
そうでしょ
Takano-san sounded like a teacher who had showed me how to solve a difficult math problem. I wasn't quite convinced, but I couldn't deny what she said either.
ヒントはこのくらいでいいかしら二人で存分に語り明かしたかったんだけどあなたが孤独を好むなら仕方がないしね失礼な口の聞き方をしてすみませんでしたミオさん私のことはシオンと呼んでください
Seemed content I changed my attitude. She kept giggling for a while. She didn't seem that reliable. Didn't want to be acquainted with her for too long. But I don't get to talk to people very much.
Anymore.
And so what she said was interested me. I really need more
改めて
friends.
自己紹介するわね高野ミオよミオって呼んでくれると嬉しいわよろしくですミオさん
Takano.
私は園崎シオンミオンの双子の妹にあたりますシオンと呼んでください
You know, there's more to your life than being her
さっ
twin
きの話
sister,
を聞かせてく
Shion.
ださい二人犠牲者が出ると言いましたね一人がたたりでもう一人が生贄とか言いましたかねえシオンちゃんこの話で盛り上がる前にどうしてこの話に興味があるか
My
聞
boyfriend's
かせてもらっ
missing.
てもいいかしら
She leaned over and looked into my eyes. It was kind of uncomfortable.
ミオさんこそ私のことをどこまでご存知ですご存知ならおおよその見当はつくんじゃないかとさあ何年か遠くの全寮制の学校にいて最近沖宮に戻ってきたとしか知らないわよそうですかじゃあ想像つきますよね私がいない間に起こった連続開始事件私はよくわからないので調べてるんですちょっとした興味本位でなるほどね興味本位でね
I had the impression she knew what happened to Satoshi-kun and me. And it's leaving because I Shion, not Mion. I don't know why I saw it that way, but she should have access to sources for that. Well, since Oyashiro does.
ミオさんにも聞きますさっき私のことをお社様のたたりについて調べる同志と言いましたねなぜたたりなんか研究してるんですかそして連続開始事件の犠牲者は偶数人であることも言い切りましたねひなみ沢連続開始事件は確かに通称でお社様のたたりと呼ばれていますなぜたたりを研究すると連続開始事件にまで踏み込むことになるのですかシオンちゃん質問が一度に多すぎるわねそれに何が聞きたいのかややこしくて分かりにくいわ
Oh. I couldn't say anything in return. Maybe I've been too inquisitive.
順に答えるわね私が研究しているのはたたりじゃなくもっと講義鬼ヶ淵村の風俗史よ平たく言えば古代ひなみ沢村の知られざる歴史暗黒史について研究しているの鬼ヶ淵村鬼ヶ淵って鬼の国につながってるっていう村の奥にある底なし沼のことですかあと知られざる歴史暗黒史って何です
Mio's Hawasana looked pleased to
鬼
hear.
ヶ淵村
Oh god, ever choke on your own
明
spit?
治以前の名前よ暗黒史というのはうすうすは知っているでしょ人食い鬼の歴史は
Ah, the man-eating demons, huh? That was the fairy tale told in Hinamazawa. Long time ago, demons came out of the swamp, and while the villagers battled with them, they ended up living peacefully together. The villagers transcended and became a sacred people, having demon blood in their veins. That long-forgotten fairy tale came back to my mind vividly.
ひなみ沢に縁のある人なら誰もが知ってる当たり前の昔話よね。ではその半人半鬼の仙人たちが時に山を降り人をさらって食らった宴の話は知っている？
え？
何の話ですか？
村人たちの体に半分流れる鬼の血は、鬼は鬼でも人食い鬼の血だったって話は聞いたことない？
ああ、まあそんな話もありますね。
I dodged your question. Ibuzawa used to be a desolate village, but it grew in prominence after the Second World War and expanded its influence to Okonomi and other areas. People who disliked and discriminated against the villagers called us man-eating demons. I remember that. The young villagers don't take it seriously. The old people can get seriously upset about it. They certainly can't take it as a joke.
Like growling?
The term man-eating demons is forbidden. We normally never use it. Get my Velius space. I never spoke those words. Fuck, my throat! Oh, give me a sec.
Only if you ask my
何がですか？
人食い鬼って単語を意味嫌う村人は多いからね。気に障ったなら謝るけれど。
年寄り連中は気にするらしいですけど、まあ私はそんなには気にしてませんので、それより続けてください。
ありがとう。じゃあ続けるわね。古代の村人たちにはね、人を喰らう食人の習慣があったらしいの。そしてその食人の儀式を様式化し、さまざまなセレモニーや文化、風習を生み出したと言われている。私たちが6月のお祭りだと思っている綿流しだって、本来はちょっと早い夏祭りなんかでは断じてない。本来は犠牲者をさらい食べるために行う食人の宴だった。彼らはね、犠牲者を高速台に縛り付け、お魚をおろす時みたいに腹綿を引きずり出して、それを川に投げ捨てたとされている。ほら、魚の腹綿って綿って言うじゃない。それが語源よ。綿流しの
綿流し。
そうよ。お布団の綿なんかでごまかすようになったのは、私の研究では明治の頃からじゃないかと思うわね。まさかこの昭和の時代にそんな恐ろしいことが堂々とできるわけもないのだし。
Everything Mio-san was talking about sounded startling. I was just taken aback. I couldn't wholly believe it right away. She sensed that from my expression.
もちろん思いつきなでっち上げなんかでは断じてない。誰にも見せないって誓うなら、綿流しのあたりの研究ノートを見せてあげてもいいけれど。
Mion-san took out a notebook from her bag and flipped through it. Appeared to be doing her research surely.
ありがとうございます。お借りできるものなら後でゆっくり読んでみたいと思います。
いいわよ。本当は閲覧厳禁の秘密ノートだけれどね。研究の同志になら特別に見せてあげてもいいわね。
Mio-san handed me the notebook a bit hesitantly. Looks like it'd take a whole night to finish reading. It was densely packed with information. Saw copies of various documents and quotes in there too. It just wasn't some delusion of hers.
一番最初にミオさんは言いましたよね。毎年の事件で一人がたたりで死に、一人が生贄にされて失踪すると。
Person sacrificed and disappears. Satoshi couldn't have gone missing. Did he become sacrifice? What is a sacrifice anyway? Mio-san looked very pleased to hear my questions again. She took out another notebook and handed it to me.
読めばわかるけど、かいつまんで話すわね。お社様のたたりとは、簡単に言えば、お社様の怒りのこと。お社様が怒ったら、罰としてたたりが起こる。それはわかるわよね。
一応わかります。ダム戦争で村に敵対した人間たちにお社様が怒り、たたりが起こったと、そう言いたいわけですよね。
そうね。でね、お社様のたたりというのは放置してはいけないの。もっともっと大きなたたりを招くからね。だから神職である古出家の歴代当主たちは、お社様のたたりがあるたびにそのお怒りを鎮めるために生贄を捧げる必要があったの。 それを生贄の儀と呼ぶみたいなんだけどね。
じゃあつまり毎年綿流しの日にお社様のたたりで一人死んで、そのたたりを鎮めるためにさらにもう一人を生贄にして殺してると、そう言うんですか？でも一人しか死んでませんよ、現実に。生贄に捧げられたなんて聞いたこともない。
死体が出ないのは当然よ。だって生贄の儀式は犠牲者を鬼ヶ淵の沼に沈めることなんだもの。あの沼は一度沈めば二度と浮き上がることはないと言われる底なしの沼。死体なんて出ようはずもない。
じゃあ毎年のもう一人の犠牲者はみんな沼の底に沈んでると？
I mean, Satoshi-kun's also at the bottom of that dark green swamp. Blue in that picture, Shion.
本当に沼の底に沈められているかはわからないわ。でも連続事件を起こしている人たちがそれを意識して一人を消していることは間違いないと思うわね。
Each year, a traitor to the village dies on the day what Nagashi because of Oyashiro-sama's curse. Another person's sacrifice is also ordered to pacify Oyashiro-sama's anger. That person's body will never be found because he or she are simply thrown into the bottomless swamp.
そう。つまりひなみ沢村連続開始事件というのはたたりとそれを鎮めるための生贄の2つでセットになったもの。そしてそれを毎年繰り返すことによってダム戦争時の旧敵を毎年2人ずつ殺していけるシステムのことを指しているの。私の話は省略しすぎてるからね。多分ちょっと信じがたいとは思う。だからこそあなたに預けた研究ノートをね、時間をかけてゆっくり読んでほしいの。内容を理解できたなら私の話がそういい加減なものでもないことがわかるはず。
I heard a man's voice just then. A middle-aged man with a hat wearing the Mio-san from the entrance. Hey,
ごめ
Tomotake.
んなさい。待ち人が来たみたい。もっとゆっくり話がしたかったのに。残念。でも機会はまだこれからもあるでしょうしね。そのノートはそれまで預けておくわね。中身をよく読んで理解できたなら私のいい話し相手になってくれるのを楽しみにしているわね。
Mion-san wrapped this conversation and headed to where the man was waiting for her. She left her old notebook in my hands. Mion-san waved at me as she lay away with her companion. I took a seat again and opened what she'd given me. What bugged me is the serious, mysterious deaths. So now it's the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Yeah, that's how this conversation started, Mion. Maybe I'll choose reading these notebooks. Study them carefully, I might be able to find out who was really behind the incidents. Bet you won't. Why did Satoshi-kun have to disappear? What was he involved in? How did that happen? Maybe Takano's notes will bring me the answer. Research notes, Takano Mio. Started flipping the pages to start making sure no one was watching over my shoulder. Well, it's time for the library to close. I had to leave. Bought some food on my way home. Shut the door and locked it right away. Heard the door of the neighboring apartment open. Kasai lived next door. Nobody else lived on the floor in the nearly empty apartment building anyway. Clearly heard the door open and close. Kasai must have noticed I came home and was coming over because he wanted to talk to me. Knocked the door and shouted out to him.
火災なの？鍵は開いてますよ。
Shion, I would
火
virtually...
災さんじゃないよ。シオン。
Oh, hey, Mion. A voice. I twitched.
入るよ。
No.
どうぞ。
Fine.
おね。
Door slowly opened. My alter ego, Mion Sonozaki, appeared. She's holding a box of cake. Sorry about your fingernails, it's written on it.
どうぞ上がってって言うまで玄関に突っ立ってるつもりですか？どうぞ上がって。全然可愛くない部屋で申し訳ないけどね。落ち着いた雰囲気のとこだね。
She just looked a bit tense when I entered my room. It's her first time here.
生活はどう？新しい学校はやっぱりつまらないです。 一応通ってはいますけど、気分が乗らない時はサボらせてもらってます。全寮制だとなかなかそうはいかないですからね。センルチはやっぱり辛かったか。チェ、お姉も一度閉じ込められてみろってんです。ごめんごめん。ケーキ買ってきたからさ、食べよ。
Mion opened the box. I saw 2 cheesecakes there. They're the same taste in food. So we don't have to fight if we get to... I don't... Shion, I think this twin thing is more psychological than biological at this point.
必要な家具とかがあったら言ってね。融通できるかもしれないから。この部屋にもようやく馴染んできたとこだけど、近いうちに引き払うかもしれないから、家具はノーサンキューです。うちのお父さんが沖宮に住むつもりなら戻ってこいってうるさいんですよ。お父さんに会いたくないんだけど、かといって逆らうのも怖いしな。お父さんもシオンがいなくなって寂しそうだったから、なんだかんだ言っても帰ってきたら喜ぶと思うよ。チェー、人事だと思って。
Anyway, this was the first time I talked to Sen since I was allowed to live as Sonozaki Shion. She didn't look like how she was at the Sonozaki house that day. Successor of the family and my twin sister are 2 different people. Demon lives inside that takes the inside the leader of the Sonozakis. Our bodies are exactly the same except for the tattoo of a demon on her back. Mion's destiny as successor was set in stone when she got that tattoo. It's pretty simple. The Mion from that night was different from the Mion before me. When I was forced to tear off my fingernails, I momentarily despised her. But if I was the next leader of the family, I've done the same thing.
シオン、爪は治った？
Fucking
すっ
hurts.
かり傷口は塞がったからね。最近は目立つのがかえって嫌なんで、包帯みたいなのもしてないです。でもまだだいぶいびつでね、あまり人には見せられないかな。
Seeing her display my incomplete fingernails. Mion grew quiet and looked down.
謝らなくていいよ。ミオンだってあそこは仕方なかったんだからさ。次期当主の役割を演じただけ。恨んじゃいないから。ごめんね。オッケー。その謝罪で私は全部チャラにした。でも
No, it fucking ain't, Shion.
もう一度謝ったらそれは取り消し。一生許さないよ。何それ。お姉は一度謝りモードに入るとなかなか抜けられない悪い癖がありますからね。私の方で区切らないとキリがないんです。本当に許してくれるの？サトシとのことも。
Her ache when she mentioned his name.
Oh, by that part.
No. He is
シオン
more
がサ
important
ト
to
シの
me
ことを好きな
than
のは
fingernails.
もちろん知ってたんだよ。あれだけ大勢の前で熱愛宣言しちゃいましたからね。なんだか今更恥ずかしくもなんともないや。でもバッチャはあれで本当にけじめがついたと思ってるんだよ。シオンがちゃんと自分でけじめをつけてみせたから、それで全部終わりって。そうでなきゃ困ります。あれだけ痛い思いしたんですから。サトシどこに行ったんだろうね。
I started choking when I heard her say that. Whoa, what the fuck? Sis, you just broke a lot of glass around here. I said I completely her completely, but that promise instantly evaporated. Just because of what she said, I felt like I turned into a completely different person. What did you say, Mion? Did you say I wonder where Satoshi-kun disappeared to? Who else could know other than you and your folks? What did you say? Oh boy, she's about to get really upset, isn't she? Boy, Mion, I would step 5 paces back. Choke the burning sensation in my throat. She's like, oh shit, I fucked up. Looks like she knows the devil's mask on my face. We were one and the same. We could understand each other's thoughts without voicing them. So showing our expressions was like unveiling everything in our hearts together.
ごめん。
Even though I told her not to apologize anymore, Mion apologized. I felt like strangling her. He's going to make her confess where she hit Satoshi-kun. She told me she threw him in the Onigō-Fuji swamp. I strangled her to death right then and there.
サトシのことは本当に知らないの。
That's a lie.
本当。バッチャだって何も知らない。
Oh, you're actually strangling her? She sounds
本当な
strained.
の。嘘だ嘘だ嘘だ。じゃあ本当にお社様のたたりで鬼隠しにあったとでも言うつもりなのか。たたりなんてあるもんか。たたりなんてあるもんか。
Words kept coming out of my mouth like I was chanting a spell. I wasn't speaking my own will anymore. It was a demon who was controlling me. Demon that had been sleeping deep inside me woke up and was speaking through my mouth. Hands, I mean the demon's hands grabbed me on by the neck.
お前たちがサトシ君を鬼隠しにしたんだ。お前たちその先本家がお前たちが返して私のサトシ君を返して返して
My hands slowly but surely squeezed Mion's neck. Mion put her hands onto mine. I looked at her fingers. 3 of the fingernails of the hand looked as ugly as mine.
ミオ、これはどうしたの？
Tears rolled down her cheeks. She didn't have to answer. She had the same scars as I said I did. She atoned as well. The way those wounds were healing looked the same as mine. So did you get these wounds around the same time as I did?
シオンだけが爪を剥がされるなんてかわいそうすぎるんだもん。
Anne started sobbing. I stood there petrified, still wringing Mion's neck.
シオンがね、サトシのことを好きだって分かって、私シオンとサトシに幸せになってほしかったんだよ。だってシオンばっかりいつもかわいそうで、私たちは同じ双子なのに、なんでシオンばっかりいつも差別されて。
It come as a surprise to me that Mion might also have loved Satoshi-kun as I did. We always liked the same stuff, even the same people. She was stupid enough to feel obligated towards someone like me.
私ね、バッチャにね、怒鳴って言ったんだよ。シオンとサトシをそっとしてあげてほしいって。そしたらけじめをつけたら見逃そうっていう話になって、だからねちゃんとシオンが頑張ったから、もうね、二人は普通に過ごしてもよかったんだよ。なのにサトシいなくなっちゃった。こんなのひどいよね。ひどすぎるよね。
Mion isn't smart enough to shed crocodile tears. Those tears were real. Your tears dissolved my demon's anger like how the sun melts ice.
信じて、シオン。本当にサトシがどうしていなくなってしまったのかわからないの。園崎家とかバッチャとか、本当にそういうのは何も関わってないの。バッチャはシオンのけじめで全てを許した。だからサトシに何かするなんて絶対にないの。ミオ、ごめん。苦しかった。
Took my hands off her neck and held her instead.
苦しくなんかないよ。シオンはもっともっと苦しかったんだよね。
Shadowed the demon in my mind. I believed in Mion. I'd been convinced it was the Sonozaki family that made Satoshi disappear. But Mion denied it. And while shedding tears, between her and me, her tears are more convincing than any words. So I believe in her. It was absolutely it wasn't the Sonozaki family that made him disappear. So, do you really think Satoshi disappeared because of Oyashiro-sama's curse? I don't believe in curses! And Mion didn't do it! If it wasn't the curse of the Sonozaki family, who demoned him away? I don't know! I just know it's not Mion! It's not the Sonozaki family because Mion says so. That's stupid, Shion. You're going to ignore Satoshi-kun's voice? I know! You don't have to remind me, Demon. I can hear his voice. I know he's mumbling with an ambivalent expression like he always used to, though. Even though he knows help won't come, I'll help him no matter what. I'll save him if he's alive. I'll avenge him if he's dead. But Mion didn't do it. You just want to take it out on somebody. It doesn't matter who. But I'm Shion, not a demon. You're only a part of me. Don't try to take control. Fuck off! Don't ever show up again. The demon faded away. My body went limp and I fell to the floor while holding Mion.
シオン、大丈夫？
I guess you could say
大丈夫だよ。
Shion
私たちは
got
どうして
that dog in her.
ミオンとシオンなんだろうね。
That was
どう
awful.
して同じ一人であってはいけないんだろうね。やめなよ。私たちはもう何度もそれを自問してきたよ。でも答えなんか出ない。現実に私とあなたはミオンとシオン、それが現実。私ね、自分がミオンでもシオンでもどっちでもいいんだよ。私たちは私たち。公平な関係でいたいのに仕方がないよ。ミオンの背中には鬼が宿ってる。闘志を継ぐ定めが宿ってる。それは仕方がない。私、嫌だ。鬼なんかいらない。鬼なんかいらない。私は鬼じゃない。鬼じゃない。同じ人間なのがいい。
Mion is a demon and Shion's a human. Even though we're twins, there's a difference between us. It was impossible for humans to live with demons after all. It shouldn't be possible. Because they did it before. Humans and demons lived in harmony together. And so Oyashiro-sama watched over them. Mion. Shion. Satoshi-kun. Demons, humans. Oyashiro-sama's curse, the series of mysterious deaths. Satoshi-kun's disappearance. We fell asleep while holding each other. While holding everything. Notebook page
So what do you
56.
think happened? What are your thoughts now?
Payment. Reconcile with a close relative. He tripped and fell.
Damn. He's still fine. I don't know where he fell and where he fell, but he's still falling.
I saw Takano a few times after that. At her core, she was fascinated with Bizarre, and she had insatiable curiosity that was just as strong. To remind myself not to take her story too seriously. Otherwise, I might start believing that Satoshi-kun disappeared because of a curse. She talks about the dark history of Yamazawa a lot. It's very interesting. Her theories are based on nothing but conjecture. But some of her intuition covers the facts that only members of the Sonozaki family would know. She thinks Oyashiro-sama's curse is the continuation of these ancient rituals. In other words, she believes that the curse is performed by religious fanatics. According to her theory, a religious cult once existed in Hinamazawa, and the three families stem from it. She believes that they are operating behind the scenes in order to revive the dignity of the Onigafuchi people, which was lost during the Meiji era. Mio-san's theories are far-reaching, and looking at them on a larger scale, they end up making a lot of sense. But they can't offer any explanation for Satoshi-kun's disappearance when using them on a smaller one. The theories are just too broad. I exchange information with Ooishi every now and then. We expect new leads from each other, but neither of us have had any luck. No longer believe the tip that Satoshi-kun might have headed to Tokyo. It's clearly bogus anyway. Although I can't befriend Ooishi, it's being fair about the deal. He alone has been serious about uncovering new information. Oishi's sources are quite reliable, so whenever I found something dubious tip, I checked with him to see if it was valid. My means with him diminished in frequency since he's been assigned to new cases. Eventually we stopped meeting entirely. Once she stopped investigating, I reached to limit my sources of information. People now think that Satoshi-kun's disappearance was a supernatural phenomenon called Onikakushi. Himazawa referred to theorists as having him transferred, and nobody will talk about it otherwise. I don't like the way that's phrased. It's used to erase him.
I like how the hints here, the tips, are like, I mean, they're effectively working like kind of as like a time skip.
Yeah.
Here. You can see what page 54, 50, 64, now 85.
Yeah. The upheaval surrounding Oyashiro-sama's curse in 1982. I pulled this way and that newly Satoshi-kun's disappearance. Every time I found information that looked promising, I kept changing my series. But that also became an incredible burden on me. It wore me down plenty on its own. Fatigue was harsh, but also provided a very kind acceptance. Bit by bit, it soothed the anger, sadness, and doubt that wore me down. I'll never forget Satoshi-kun. I'll never try to forget and move on. I constantly repeated those myself in my head. I repeated them to keep my memories of Satoshi-kun from fading too, over and over. For the sake of my fond memories of Satoshi-kun, together with my fear and my sadness, I repeated them forever and ever. Ooh, boy.
But she's been. She's at 1982 now.
Yeah. Oh,
It is
1982.
Yeah.
Keiichi, the main story happens in 83.
Mm.
And she's, considering when Keiichi brings up Satoshi being transferred, she does not take the information, she does not take that very well.
Damn.
So she has not let it go. None of her grief.
By the time that Keiichi's there, she has been searching. She's been investigating and searching for Satoshi for a year.
With no new leads whatsoever.
Yep.
Poor Shion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. That was mostly a recap episode for information. The more interesting bit was me on Shion's interaction.
Yeah.
I think those girls need to learn the definitions of what twins are. Because I don't think the definition in their head is correct.
Hey, they're the twins.
So they have authority.
They got out of the darkness and then just sat there, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Nightmare. Sorry. Oh fuck, what was I gonna say? but Shion.
Shion twins.
Oh, but I do think that, like, I think that the best part for me for this is always Mion's fingernails
Being broke.
being gone too.
Yeah. That, or maybe they actually are the same person this entire time. Ooh.
What if there's a Tyler Durden situation? Ooh.
I mean, I've entertained the idea that Mion and Shion are.
I say that jokingly, but that is not outside the realm of what Rikishi would write.
No, not I have thought, like, is it possible that Shion and Mion are actually the same person? Because they lay it on thick sometimes.
Oh yeah.
But
the telepathy thing, happens.
But I don't know. That seems too obvious. They've laid it on too thick. Unlike something else, which I will not name. It's like Sora and Roxas. There, I connected it to my other LP.
Oh, nice. That took a lot of. It took a lot. I'm proud of you.
Shut the fuck up. Any last words?
No.
Well, let's see if we reach the present day anytime soon. Until then, Abigail.
I think, like, really the next one is going to be present day.
It's too late to keep on going. I'm tired.
Okay.
I mean, are you not tired?
No.
Until then, have a gay time, y'all. Peace.